as a Eurovision fan, I'm sure you've heard the term Sweden hate.
Yeah.
So what is Sweden hate to you, and why do you think there is Sweden hate within the Eurovision fandom? So we're with Mr. Melodifestivalen contest producer for 2 more years, Christer Björkman. Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Now, today, or well, this year, we had a huge change with the apps, the
Yep.
way that the voting is represented.
Yes.
And it's led to some results we've already seen with 5th, 6th, 7th place, where some acts that got more votes were actually ranked lower.
Yes.
And maybe after Saturday, we'll find that perhaps some acts that were 5th got more votes than perhaps Andra Chansen acts, but it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
How do you feel that this new system has done for the contest overall?
I think it's broadened the selection. I think you can see in the final that it has a somewhat more mature outcome. It's actually very high quality on every act that we will see here in the final. Overall, I would say it's been a huge success. I really feel it is a fair system that every person's voice is heard, no matter what age you have, no matter what, how should I put it?
How many people in the age are voting?
Yeah, and how intensely you vote. Because it's a matter of different ways of using a system, and to just bang in votes randomly is not a very democratic way of doing it. It is nicer to have a system where everybody's voice is heard.
Right. And we don't know what results this will have on the finale, of course, because this is the first year. But one thing that's obviously been apparent was since the introduction of the app vote, because there have been so many votes going to so many acts, it's almost been like in the finals, the public has had no say in the winner of MelFest. It's usually been the jury that's their winner's been the winner.
And that's going to change this year because it's very evenly spread. It's 8 viewer groups that hand out votes. And they do that exactly like the 8 countries.
So it's a complete 50 balance with the age groups and the different countries.
Yes.
So it'll be very interesting to see the results.
And it will spread the points because they are given set points in sequence on how many votes they got.
Right.
Really.
Well, and here's the thing: when I had the app, I thought it was asking me for a Eurovision song, and it only gave me numbers. So I put in 1944, and now I'm 75 plus. So do you find maybe I put in 1944? We'll say it's a random number. So do you find that perhaps there might be some people that might have put themselves in an age group that might not be?
But it doesn't really matter because you only have the votes you have.
That's true.
You can only vote in one group. And the only thing that it does, if we would put any value in the stats, it would mess up our statistics on who votes for what and in what age group. And that's not really important.
Right.
The importance is that you have one set of votes. Wherever you put yourself, that's what you have.
Right. And of course, looking back in the past, before we had the app system, or maybe when we did, there have been instances where perhaps the juries have voted a certain way against the Swedish public. For example, Yohio comes to mind, the first time you did it.
Yep.
And where, the jury, or even when it was close, like Ace and Sanna Nielsen.
Yeah.
Or, for example, a Victoria, who's always done so well with the public, but very bad with the juries. Why do you think this big discrepancy happens to that degree, and have you been happy with the results that happened those years where the jury kind of overpowered the big public vote?
Well, first of all, I'm always happy with the result because the result is the combined wish of the juries and the people. So whatever wins, we are fine with. I think there is a certain type of music that is very Scandinavian and that doesn't travel further than Scandinavia. And on occasion, that appears to be, of course, the public favorite by far. But that's why we have the international juries, to balance it out, because we are going somewhere else. And we need to have a song to, if we really want to win, and if the intention is to go out there and compete for real, we need to know beforehand what is the perception of this song. And then either people can listen to that or they can ignore it.
Right.
But it really is important to know. And we do have two very, very good examples when this happened the other way around, when the Swedish vote totally overruled what the international jury said, which was in 9 and 10. And the results were not very good for us. So there is a point, and if you look at it from 2011, when the full system of 11 international jury groups was implemented, since then we have an average of 4.9 in our placings in the Eurovision. So I mean, obviously they have made a difference.
Right, and so we talked about Sweden's powerhouse performances since 2011, which is incredible, but it gives rise to, as a Eurovision fan, I'm sure you've heard the term Sweden hate. So what is Sweden hate to you, and why do you think there is Sweden hate within the Eurovision fandom?
I think it happens to any country that dominates too much. We could feel it in the 90s for Ireland. Everybody was dead tired of going to Dublin. And you want change. You want something else. So it's quite natural. However, I think it's going to an extent that is quite ridiculous, because the strong anti-votes against us is a bit shameful, I would say, because we do quite a lot for the contest. We do take it very seriously. We do help other countries. We go around and spread our know-how on how to do this. So I think it's a bit unfair, but that's something we have to live with.
Yeah. Final question. Let's go back to 2017. I think this is a year of MelFest that's on many Euro fandoms' ears. First of all, Loreen, I think, is the big topic here. So was that your decision to invite her back? Because obviously it was a...
Yes.
And of course, she didn't make it to the finals. Had she made it to the finals, because we've heard from a few juries that they were ready to give their 12 points to Lorien, do you think she would have perhaps been the victorious one in 2017?
Yes.
And had she gone to Eurovision, do you think perhaps that year in Kiev, Statements and Loreen had a big, strong chance of winning the whole song contest?
Yes.
But it's all big what if.
Yep.
We never know.
Nope.
But for sure you felt very strongly about this song, and you felt very strongly about the performance.
Yes.
There you have it, right from Krister's mouth. It was a potential winner right there. Thank you so much for going in deeply to the topics, and we're going to enjoy Saturday. It's going to be a great show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.